Brianna, 조금 더 오나.
My back? What do you mean?
그치 너무로. There's 3 scratch marks across your back.
Oh, shoot. What the heck? How did this happen?
When I was still a teenager, my family and I moved into this one house. The previous tenants were Hmong. That in itself was already a red flag, but we ignored it. Of my family, I've always been the more sensitive one to the paranormal. While living there, I experienced many things, from hearing footsteps, seeing shadows, to even getting attacked. One of the most unsettling and creepy incidents happened when I was on a video call with my boyfriend.
Babe, I want to spend time with you next Saturday.
Yeah, we are hanging out. That's still the plan. I just have to help my parents in the morning.
Okay, you promise? You can pick me up then?
Yep, I'll come pick you up that day.
Brianna, come eat.
Okay, babe. I have to go eat with my family downstairs. Did you want to end the call, or did you want to hang around until I'm done eating?
We should leave the call on. I'll stay until you come back. Just leave your phone in your room or something.
Like a typical couple, it was a very normal occurrence for my boyfriend and I to stay on video calls even when we were doing nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna set you right here.
I carefully balanced my phone on the narrow edge of the windowsill, ensuring that it was propped up. The phone's angle showed the view of my bedroom door. Before exiting my bedroom, I turned back to look at my boyfriend.
Okay, see you later. I'll eat as fast as I can. Love you.
I left my bedroom and shut the door behind me. After eating with my family, I headed back upstairs. As I got closer to my room, I could faintly hear a voice coming from inside. My first thoughts were that my boyfriend was probably talking to himself.
Hello, babe.
It didn't quite sound like him. I pushed the door open and I went to my phone.
Are you bored? Did I take too long?
No, it's fine. Babe, 頭部大嗰度 sister 前咗你門都摸咯。
Yeah, she did. Everybody was there.
His face was etched with paranoia. He suddenly hangs up. I was left wondering what was going on. Over text, he told me that while I was gone, he had been staring idly at the screen. While waiting for me to come back, he noticed in the corner of the screen, there were dark strands of hair that began to drift across the screen. He said it looked like there was someone in my room. That someone was actively trying to avoid being on screen. Therefore, my boyfriend thought that it was my sister. He started getting creeped out after a while. That someone was moving around a lot, but it wouldn't fully come into the frame so that my boyfriend could see. He said that's when he put the phone down and decided to just wait until he hears me come back into my room. His explanation for why he hung up on me, he said, when I told him that my sister was with us the whole time. At that very same exact moment, he saw someone step out from behind me, revealing half of its face. It was a woman with a pale face and long hair. My boyfriend has met my family and he knows all of my family members. He said the lady he saw behind me was certainly not anyone that he knew. I was beyond scared. I told my boyfriend about the voice that I heard coming from my room. He denied being responsible for it because apparently he kept himself muted the whole time that I was gone. He also said that until I came back, he didn't hear anyone talk from my end of the video call. We were both creeped out, but we just dropped it and brushed it off. You know how they say bad things come in threes? That night, after getting out of the shower, my sister saw 3 big scratch marks on my back. From then on, I started getting sleep paralysis, and I always felt a presence sleeping with me in my room. I brought it up to my mom several times, but she just told me that I needed to pray harder, that my prayers needed to come from the bottom of my heart. I felt completely helpless. These experiences continued, and they didn't stop until we moved out of that house. It was only after we moved out that my mom finally confessed to having her own set of experiences while we were living in that house. I still remember the very last day that we were there for. As we were leaving in the car, I glanced up at the window of my old bedroom. There stood a girl. She was watching me. My eyes twitch a little, and I hesitate every time I get asked to babysit or house sit for someone. Let's just say I've been traumatized before. Last year, when my friend Maisie and her husband booked a trip to the Bahamas, I agreed to do her the favor of watching her kids along with her house for a week. She has 2 beautiful daughters. Claire was 5 years old and had just started school. Ava was the younger one. She was 2.5 at the time and had just started speaking short sentences. Since I work remotely, it was perfect for what Maisie needed, as she usually stays home with Ava while Claire is at school. Both Claire and Ava were little angels. They were very good at falling asleep on their own, and they were not picky eaters at all, which made babysitting very easy. We got through the first 2 nights easily with no problem. On the 3rd night, after tucking Claire and Ava to sleep as usual, I came back into the guest bedroom where I was sleeping. I laid on the bed but was still on my phone going through work emails. As I typed on my phone, replying back to a work email, I heard noises coming from outside the bedroom. My bedroom door opened, followed by little giggles and feet patters running away. I knew it was Claire because she was pulling all sorts of silly things earlier that night. I smirked and sat up on the bed with one leg down, ready to go and put Claire back into bed. But before going, I was trying to finish up responding to an email. As soon as I sent off the email and was about to swing the rest of my body out of bed, my eyes adjusted to the darkness. In the dark hallway, there was a figure. I knew it wasn't Claire, because the figure was huskier than little 5-year-old Claire. I called out her name anyways.
Claire, is that you, dear?
I aimed my phone's light at the figure, and instantly it vanished. That's when I jumped up and turned on the bedside lamp. The hallway was empty. I rushed to Claire and Ava's room. Ava was sound asleep. Claire, on the other hand, she was in her bed pretending to sleep while still giggling.
Oh my God, Claire. You scared me, sweetie. You came and opened Auntie's door, didn't you?
Auntie, it wasn't me. It was Papa.
My heart dropped for a second. Paw who? I thought to myself. And then I remembered they were watching Paw Patrol earlier that evening, and Claire was referring to it. So I played along.
Oh, you were playing Imagination Paw Patrol.
I was still weirded out by the shadow figure I saw in the hallway. Their security system made a break-in unlikely, but I wanted to be sure, so I did a quick sweep of the house after tucking Claire in. The next morning, after getting Claire ready for school, the girls played in their room while I put together breakfast for us in the kitchen.
Claire, Ava, come eat, Mama.
They jumped off of their beds, and I heard the little thuds as they landed. I rushed from the kitchen to go look, but I only saw the two girls coming down the hallway. My whole body was covered in goosebumps. I knew something was really off about what I heard. Though I tried to focus on feeding the girls, I couldn't help but feel paranoid. I kept looking over my shoulders. After Claire left for school, Ava and I stayed in the living room. I sat on the sofa with my work laptop, while Ava was on the ground in front of me, playing with her toys and watching TV. The sofa was positioned in the center of the living room, not backed up against any wall, which meant my back faced the hallway that led to the bedrooms. After playing for a while, Ava started mumbling.
Papa. Papa.
I noticed Ava shuffling on the ground, inching closer to my legs. I stared down to see what she was doing. She was sitting still, staring off into the space behind me. I held still for a second and observed why she was being so quiet. Ava's eyes started shifting back and forth like she was keeping an eye on something. She smiled, showing her baby teeth, and then she put her pointer finger up to her mouth, seeming like she was innocently mimicking someone's actions.
Ava, what are you looking at?
Her stare stayed fixed on the empty space behind me, as if waiting for further instructions from someone. Then, without a warning, I felt it, a cold breath by my right ear.
Shh!
I jumped up and turned around as fast as I could, catching the sight of something that had been hovering mid-air, suddenly dropping straight to the ground. It was a hlanya, those that you wear with Hmong clothes. I grabbed Ava as fast as I could and we left the house. Ava and I stayed at the nearby cafe until Claire got off school. I tried messaging my C, but she was on an excursion that day and was not replying. I made the executive decision to bring the girls back to my sister's and my apartment so they could sleep over instead. That evening, while my sister watched Claire and Ava at the apartment, I made my boyfriend go back to the house with me so I could gather my belongings and some clothes for the girls. As we stepped through the front door and walked past the living room, I spotted the money sash still lying on the floor, exactly where it had fallen earlier. I forced myself to look away and I walked past it. I grabbed what I needed and we left immediately. After I gave it some thought, I decided not to tell my C about it later that night when she called me. I didn't want to worry her while she was still on vacation, so I only asked for permission to watch the girls at my apartment, which she agreed to. 2 weeks later, my C took me out to eat as a gesture of thanks.
How's your trip, my C?
Oh my god, don't even get me started. It was so pretty.
Really?
Yeah? Kachipo, I already want to go back. You and your boyfriend? Y'all should really go.
I know I really want to, but Gupo passport expire now. Maybe I'll go next year.
Yeah, you should.
But, hey, my C. Did you see the flanya on the ground when y'all got home?
Oh yeah, I did. Kuchi ano ka there on your ground there. So what that game did they take it out from the closet in the guest bedroom where you were sleeping?
Before I could even respond to her question, my C rambled on.
The whole closet now. It belonged to my late mother-in-law, as Claire and Ava likes to call her, Popo.
What? They call her Popo?
Uh-huh.
Auntie, was it me? It was Popo. Popo. Popo.